coming down the line. Yes, on the streets, baby, didn't have no money. Don't you worry, pretty baby, I'll be back on my feet soon, honey. You gotta lose, you can't win all the time. Well, I know, pretty baby, I see trouble coming down the line.
Oh, I love it. You got to lose, David Lumsden and friends. Oh, thank you,
You can't win all the time, man. You got to lose.
You got to lose. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for coming on the Who Magoots show tonight. I love it. Thank you, David.
Oh, you're welcome. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
absolutely. I've been jamming this track all the time. And actually, I was doing a mobile show last night, and I'm looking through my catalog, and I'm thinking, yeah, You Got to Lose Doom. I love the vibe that you guys have with your band. And again, this is off Hues of Blues, which is a whole different take. We were talking before we got on air here, how blues has all different shades and different colors, and argue about it and what it is, and
Right, we're trying to show some diversity there with that. But yeah, You Got to Lose has an infectious groove, and the riff is the hook to me, and it just one of those driving down the highway songs, if you know what I mean.
Exactly, and again, thanks. David Lumsden is my fabulous guest tonight on the Hues Show. Tuesday night, we're just rocking out some jams tonight. And we wanted to kind of start from the beginning about life and everything, and you are talking about the Peter Gunn theme of the Henry Mancini when we were young that really influenced you and myself too. There's so much music in the movies back in the 60s and 70s. They're so influenced today. Those old black and white days, the black and white TV show. But the riff is just the infectious riff, and it wound up, being taken over by Dwayne Eddy not too long after that, who covered it, and they had that album. I think an older sister had that record, and so I got his take on it soon after, the original with Henry Mancini, which is Henry Mancini's only jazz album, as I understand. L.A. jazz sounds of the early 1960s, and it's just a totally infectious riff. I mean, everybody knows that riff, right? Do 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 do. How does that go again, my friend?
Yeah, dum 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 da dum. Yeah, you got it.
And then it goes right into the horns. And when I knew you were coming on, I was looking at it online trying to get a clip of that. Oh my God, it's Henry Mancini. I won't even want to touch a couple notes on my Hues Show on the copyright side. So it takes me so back to my youth, and again, so much influence, the soundtracks that they developed, and and again, that's how you started. You mentioned on your website and everything in your bio, you were 6 years old. You got hooked on music right then, and that's how came to be today. So take us to the story a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
That my dad was a piano player, and so he had a baby grand piano I used to sit under when I was little, and I'd hear it quite directly that way. And he played back in the day, and was in college jazz band, and back in the way back days, and so probably that had some impact on me. But I always like to ask people, what the first thing they bought on their own, and for me it was the Peter Gunn riff. That was just a great riff, kind of set the template for a lot of stuff to come after it in a lot of ways, where you get all the great riffs from the blues rock bands like Led Zeppelin and others, with and other blues artists before that, but where the riff is really gets your attention, catches you.
Well, it's like the famous one that a lot of people I know. I work with the kids in the schools, and the Deep Purple, dun 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 dun. And we all could do it one way or another. It just kind of hold your and that's the famous one right there.
There's something about the riff and the groove going there that is undeniable. You're gonna. It goes on and on. There's so many. A whole lot of love. You can go on and on. With all, but that was for me. That was the one that grabbed me first.
And then I imagine that took you to high school and all that good stuff with the bands, and tell us a little bit now. Springfield, Illinois. Are you a Bear fan down there and all that good fun this year? Having a blast, I bet. Because I'm Cheesehead. This is Packerland. This is Humagooville here in the Milwaukee area.
Well, yeah, we're shoveling out the snow, from the weekend still, but it is January in Illinois. So here we go. But the winter time, the smarter folks are down in Florida. I've been seeing a lot of my blues friends they're all having a good time down there. Flip flops,
Yeah, I gotcha. So it's just a fun time of the year. And again, David Lumsden is my guest, and David Lumsden and Friends. Let's take us a little bit now to the album, what you got going. You got to lose,
Yes.
and the people that you've had on all these tracks, and take us through that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
The Hues of the Blues right now.
I've just been privileged to play with a lot of really good folks, whether I was a utility guitarist or something that I had, and I called them up to collaborate, and was usually for some sort of gig or event, and in this case, you got Bill Evans, who's been a blues guitarist around here for a long time. Wayne Carter, these guys are older than I am. Let's put them up there. But they're mentors and became good friends of mine and great talents. And then the younger man, Reggie Britton, who has a band, Black Magic Johnson, and he has his way of doing blues. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And I was invited to fill in some dates years ago, and then we just kind of clicked, and we still play dates together. And then Steve the Harp, who has his way of of course it's heavy on the harp, but I love harmonica with blues, and he does it so well. He's very tasty, not messy and playing too many notes, that sort of thing. He's very, very tasteful, Mm-hmm. And then getting over to where I had a riff. Speaking of riffs, is the riff I had. I just called it Slide in G because it's in the key of G. And I got with a young gal over here, Mary Jo Curry, who's got an excellent, blues voice, women's perspective, which is always good.
Yeah,
and I laid it on her to see if she wanted to put something on it, and she did. And she came out, hit a home run in the first 6 seconds I heard it. I tapped her on the shoulder, said, "That's it. We're ready to go. All you got to do is work out the rest of the words, And so as one we wrote together. They're called Raise Me Right. And then last but not least, my good friend Andy Davis is a guitarist out of Chicago now. He's originally from here, and he plays in Hartsfield and other bands up there. Excellent guitarist and very good at slide guitar. And so I hit him up to play a melody on the Rain Song. And these are just things that people that I've worked with over the years, that some of the tracks that I enjoyed the most. And then I thought, well, if I arranged them a certain way, and let's see what we could do with them. And so I did. We made it. Decided to go in the studio and produce it. And there were some other tracks that didn't make this CD. There's 4 or 5 others, but there's always that. But maybe that'll be on Hues of Blues too. We don't know.
Absolutely, I look forward to that. And yeah, your different take of the Rain Song, Georgia on My Mind, and all those again.
Wayne Carter.
The Hues of the Blues, and I'll tell you what, I changed in my little order. Let's hear the one that you have with your lady friend, Raise Me Right, with everybody, Dave Lumsden and Friends.
All right,
here we go, everybody.
My mama raised me right. My mama raised me good. Taught me how to behave just like a young lady should. That woman, she raised me good. My mama raised me right. Said, baby girl, find a man to put a roof over your